Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
First at 4, the parents of the suspected Oxford High School shooter say they won't get a fair trial in Oakland County and they want it to be held somewhere else. James and Jennifer Crumbly are charged with involuntary manslaughter, accused of neglecting their son and ignoring the warning signs before the November shooting. In a motion filed by their attorneys, the Crumblys say the shooting hits too close to home for potential jurors. Attorneys say the community already thinks negatively about the couple. They want the trial held outside of Oakland County or jurors to come from outside. Oakland County prosecutor Kara McDowell says she'll be filing a response to that motion. New fallout this afternoon from the petition controversy in the race for governor on the Republican side. The Michigan Elections Bureau says 5 out of the 10 Republican candidates did not submit enough valid signatures to qualify for the August primary. Now, one person has dropped out of the race. Michael Brown withdrew today, saying he can't be associated with this activity. The 4 other candidates are former Detroit Police Chief James Craig, Perry Johnson, Donna Brandenburg, and Michael Markey. The Bureau of Elections says dozens of people submitted fraudulent petition sheets on their behalf. The Bureau says it has no reason to believe the candidates were aware. Today, Attorney General Dana Nessel was asked about the possibility of criminal charges for those petitioners.
What we've been made aware of is, what seems to be fraud on a pretty epic scale that for a lot of folks that we've talked to at the Bureau of Elections, they've essentially said they've never seen fraud at this level before. So my expectation is that there are going to be cases, and I can't speak to which of those cases now, but there are going to be cases that will ultimately be referred to our department.
The Board of State Canvassers will make the final decision on whether the candidates can appear on the ballot. They meet Thursday. Sean Lay is taking a closer look into how this happened. He'll have his report when you join us at 5. After years of complaints, a source of pollution in the city of Detroit is set to come down. Mayor Duggan announced today the Detroit incinerator will be torn down. Power will be cut this week, with the building coming down within the next 2 weeks. The demolition will bring the city about $1.3 million in revenue. The incinerator began operations back in 1989 and was shuttered in 2019 after pressure from the Duggan administration and area residents.
This is a great day for the residents of Detroit, and for a long time, the people of Detroit really wanted to make sure that this building was closed. And to know that it's closed is a great thing. To know that it's going to be demolished and turned into something else that the neighborhood and community want is an even greater thing.
Demolition is set to be completed by the end of the year. A big step forward today to get the people of Gaylord federal assistance following that devastating tornado. Governor Whitmer says FEMA has granted her request to expedite a review of the damages and response costs. It comes as we're seeing new video on just how powerful that EF3 tornado really was. That video is from a camera inside of an SUV. Teams from FEMA, State Police, and Homeland Security will be in Gaylord tomorrow. They'll be looking at the number of damaged buildings, what's covered by insurance, and how many people are out of their homes. Turning to our first forecast as we take a live look outside. A cooler start to the day, but we are definitely warming up outside, and that is much appreciated, Brett.
It's really nice. This is one of those very nice spring evenings that we'll want in the dog days of summer. So soak it in while we have it. Lots of sun, just some high clouds filtering some sun, but that's about it. Most of us are in the 60s, but a couple of spots are in the low 70s, mainly in the metro zone. These numbers won't move a whole lot more these next few hours, but eventually they will slide down into the 50s tonight. Changes out west. This system is a brewing, and it's set to return pretty much the rest of the work week. So we will see some rain and a few thunderstorms return. But in the meantime, this evening, just very pleasant, falling through the 60s. We do see a little bit of a change temperature-wise the next few days, but not far from where we should be this time of the year. But it gets even hotter for the holiday weekend. We'll detail that coming up in just a bit.
All right, always appreciate it. Thank you, Brett. Well, ahead of a busy travel weekend, gas prices are nearing $5 in some spots in Metro Detroit. Take a look at what we saw at this gas station on 8 Mile and Coolidge in Oak Park. Now, if you pay with credit, it would cost you $4.99 per gallon. Despite the increase in gas prices, AAA thinks more people will be traveling for Memorial Day. So if you're driving somewhere this weekend, experts have some advice on how to save.
and you will see a huge difference in gasoline prices by station. It can be as much as 40 to 60 cents depending on the station, and the stations can be within a mile of each other. So just sort of plot your trip as you go.
There is one positive note. Rental car costs have decreased about 16% over the past year to about $100 a day. Today marks 3 months since Russia invaded Ukraine, and there appears to be no sign of the war letting up. Ukrainians say Russia controls about 20% of the country. Mariupol was the most recent big city to fall. It's a city left in ruins after weeks of missile attacks. Much of the fighting is centered on the eastern part of Ukraine. There are 1,300 different Ukrainian investigations underway right now into possible war crimes. Right now, we are monitoring primary elections in several states. The results could be good. Predictor of what's to come across the country. Voting is happening right now in Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, and Texas. A lot of people are closely watching Georgia's high-stakes race for governor. In the Republican primary, former President Trump is backing former Senator David Perdue, but former Vice President Mike Pence is actively campaigning against Perdue, throwing his support behind incumbent Brian Kemp. Democrat Stacey Abrams is running unopposed. As we near the end of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, an Oakland County elementary school is trying to spread the word through books. They're doing it with a book giveaway with a major focus on diversity as well as inclusion. Paula Tutman reports from Pontiac. Organizers say it's more important than ever.
So here's the offshoot. 300 books. They're going to be distributed throughout the Pontiac School District. But what's really important is who these books depict and why. There are book donations at various schools all the time, but for this one at Alcott Elementary School in Pontiac this morning, this one micro-focused on the vast tapestry of cultures within the Asian American Pacific Islanders culture. So what does that mean exactly? It means a little girl like Jaslyn can see the beauty of lots of cultures.
Every face matters, and it's not just by one face looking at another one.
Something David Liu, a finance guy for General Motors, who during his entire education, up to a master's degree, never saw during any of his years in school.
Anyone guess what Baba means? I see you raise your hand first. Dad? You're right. So you see, we're learning Chinese.
And so it's pure joy to read a book called Eyes That Speak to the Stars to a group of fourth graders.
It's actually one of the few books I've read that talk about diversity, and then someone from a different culture, like myself.
The timing has everything to do with the fact that this is indeed Asian American Pacific Islander Month. But this giveaway goes far beyond that. The Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism revealed that anti-Asian hate crimes have increased by 339% in the last year. And it was not lost on any adult in the room that the future framers of the nation's opinions and actions are in this tiny gym.
We're always concerned with any type of violence, right? Because it's just so unjust. And what we're really hoping that this does is show the uniqueness and the sameness, right? We're each individually unique. Our cultures are individually unique, right? But food brings us together, right? Love of books brings us together. Technology brings us together.
Sponsors are the life's blood of any initiative. And so, yes, it is important to mention that GM Cares, Comerica Bank, and the Association of Chinese Americans found, curated, and organized and donated these books to the Pontiac Reads Initiative, which will be an infusion of diverse culture into the school district's library. Yet, it is more important to say the names. Braylee.
I like the designs on it.
Layla.
They're different. They might sound different. They might look different. But that shouldn't change the matter. You can't be friends with them.
Alyssa.
So people can learn more about other people's cultures and know why and what happened.
Yeah, you know what they said. So Karen, I'm going to do a little bit of bragging on this specific school, Alcott Elementary School, because during March Reading Month, in 24 days, the students here read 1,800 books. What this particular book giveaway does is, because it's going to be sprinkled throughout the district, it puts not only reading at the easy access at the fingertips of students, but also all important acceptance. Karen?
Most importantly. All right, thank you, Paula. Breaking news just in from Texas, where 2 children are now confirmed dead in an elementary school shooting. This is happening about 90 minutes from San Antonio. There are also several others injured, but an exact number of the injuries has yet to be released. The active shooter threat is believed to be over. This again is breaking news in Uvalde, Texas. We'll be updating this as more information comes in.